This is not AI, nor is it the landscape of another world. This is Earth, where nature has created places that seem almost impossible to exist. There are lakes hidden inside volcanoes, caves concealing forgotten worlds, and forests that still stand silently beneath the water's surface. Yet even today, many of these places continue to defy every explanation. This journey will take us across Earth to explore its most mysterious landscapes, places that continue to challenge our understanding of the natural world. Hidden atop a volcanic crater, Kelimutu Crater Lakes astonishes the world with three enormous natural chemical basins, each displaying its own completely independent and mesmerizing color. The water within these lakes can shift from brilliant turquoise to deep red or jet black within only a few weeks, changing continuously before astonished visitors. This extraordinary phenomenon rivals the astonishing sight of dozens of large lakes suddenly changing their colors at the same time in an unbelievable natural spectacle. Three neighboring lakes rest side by side atop the volcanic crater, containing different mineral compounds that trigger natural chemical reactions responsible for their constantly changing colors. Even today, scientists have not discovered the exact mechanism explaining why these three neighboring lakes contain completely different chemical compositions, despite lying so close together. Discovering the precise mechanism behind the lake's changing color so frequently remains an unsolved scientific mystery that still lacks a complete and satisfying explanation. This remarkable wonder clearly demonstrates that Earth still hides extraordinary geological processes beyond the full understanding of modern human knowledge and scientific investigation. Mauritius Underwater Waterfall presents the world's most striking underwater waterfall illusion, where sand and sediment spill over the continental shelf, dropping more than 13,000 feet, creating a mysterious, white, cascading flow. The seafloor suddenly plunges from about 500 feet to more than 13,000 feet, forming a vast abyss where powerful ocean currents continuously sweep drifting sand downward. This remarkable phenomenon occurs only at a unique horseshoe-shaped location, forcing the sand to move in one direction instead of spreading outward, creating the strongest underwater illusion on Earth. Many fishermen once cast their nets near the shelf edge and felt powerful sand currents pulling them downward, believing a real underwater waterfall existed. Yet science proved only sand and sediment formed the enormous white cascade. The shallow water glows with brilliant turquoise beside an almost black, deep blue zone, creating such dramatic contrast that they appear to be two completely different oceans. After these spectacular images spread widely during the past 10 years, many coastal families switched from traditional fishing to scenic flight tourism and now enjoy more stable incomes. Vilafranca do Campo Islet is a tiny, uninhabited island off the coast of Portugal, actually the remains of an underwater volcano, famous for its nearly perfect circular seawater lagoon measuring about 500 feet across. It is the remnant of an underwater volcanic crater that erupted about 4,000 to 5,000 years ago, later sculpted by relentless ocean waves into its unusual circular shape. The inner lagoon reaches a maximum depth of about 65 feet and connects to the ocean through a narrow opening, preventing large waves from entering and creating exceptionally calm water. The tallest volcanic cliffs rise about 200 feet, forming a natural circular wall that completely surrounds the crystal-clear lagoon with breathtaking scenery. Local residents once used the narrow entrance as a safe shelter for small boats during rough weather, and shared stories of their grandparents fishing inside the volcanic lagoon. Have you ever imagined swimming inside a perfectly round volcanic crater lagoon, surrounded by towering cliffs and peaceful ocean waters, unlike anywhere else on Earth? Lake Natron is a deep red alkaline basin in Tanzania that lies at the foot of a sacred volcano, respectfully known by local people as the Mountain of God. The most extraordinary feature of this place is its extremely high concentration of natron and a pH level approaching 10.5, creating a highly corrosive chemical environment capable of turning the bodies of animals that fall into the lake into perfectly preserved dried stone-like statues. This danger becomes even more frightening because the calm lake surface reflects like a giant mirror, misleading birds into diving directly into the alkaline water, which reaches temperatures of up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer. However, this deadly lake also becomes a perfect natural shield that protects the nests of more than 2 million lesser flamingos from attacks by predators. The salty alkaline mud surrounding the lake also preserves an invaluable archaeological treasure containing more than 400 fossilized ancient human footprints dating back as far as 120,000 years. Thanks to the combination of harsh geology and remarkable preservation, this place remains one of the most unusual landscapes that modern science has not yet fully explored. Antelope Canyon harbors an abnormal erosion structure as flash floods carved thin cracks into canyons over 120 feet deep beneath the desert floor. The Navajo sandstone rock formations here curve strangely, like the fossils of ancient sand dunes from 190 million years ago. The magical color shift from vibrant orange to amethyst purple depends entirely on the angle of incoming sunlight. Floating fine dust scatters natural light to form dense light beams within the quiet space. Airflow moving through the narrow slots causes the interior temperature to drop suddenly by 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit compared to the desert above. The curved rock walls unusually deaden echoes, so that sounds dissipate quickly right after being produced. Continuous water erosion is silently reshaping this slot canyon before it eventually collapses completely. Vinicunca Rainbow Mountain astonishes scientists due to the appearance of straight mineral stripe structures tilting steeply into the sky. Through millions of years of weathering, ancient marine sediment layers carrying distinct colors underwent metamorphism deep within the Earth. The catastrophic collision between the Nazca Plate and the South American Plate tilted the horizontal mineral bands completely vertical. Hidden under permafrost for thousands of years, the mountain only emerged in 2015 due to global warming. The strangest thing is that thousands of years of rainstorms have never eroded or blended these vibrant color boundaries together. Rock surfaces containing different mineral densities created their own erosion rates, keeping the color stripes absolutely sharp. Situated at a terrifying altitude of 17,060 feet, this barren terrain constantly defies every theory of natural geological distribution. The perfect combination of ancient chemical reactions and tectonic forces turned the mountain into an extremely inexplicable wonder. In the middle of a vast desert, the Richat structure appears like a giant, mysterious eye with concentric rings so perfect that they challenge natural geological rules. This strange wonder has a diameter of nearly 25 miles, large enough that astronauts in outer space used it as a primary visual landmark. Even stranger, this arid land still preserves countless ancient marine fossils, proving it once lay deep underwater hundreds of millions of years ago. This geological anomaly and surreal scale helped the Richat structure earn official recognition as one of the first World Geological Heritage Sites. From a distance, the Giant's Causeway leaves visitors in awe, with as many as 40,000 tightly packed hexagonal basalt columns that appear far too perfect to have been shaped by the forces of nature alone. Its greatest mystery lies in the rounded, interlocking joints between the stone sections, an extremely complex mechanical force distribution design that modern engineering has only begun using in recent times. Thanks to this unusual flexible connection, the entire coastline has remained standing for tens of millions of years, despite the constant pounding of powerful ocean waves. wonder continues along a 40-foot-high cliff, where columns of different lengths stand in neat rows like a gigantic pipe organ, and sea winds passing through them create deep, resonating sounds, unlike anything else in nature. The remarkable story of these rocks became even more fascinating after recent geochemical studies revealed that the entire chain of volcanic eruptions that formed them happened in only about 5.5 million years. This extraordinary basalt formation does not end at the shoreline, but continues beneath the ocean floor, before rising again on an island in Scotland, located about 75 miles away. Walking across this endless field of stone surrounded by drifting mist, visitors often feel just how small humans are in a mysterious landscape that seems to belong to another world. If you are searching for one of the strangest natural wonders on Earth, the Zhangye Danxia Mountains are the answer, with brilliantly folded sandstone formations that look like a painted masterpiece. A historic collision between tectonic plates about 40 million years ago compressed the land and pushed deeply buried sediment layers upward into a series of extraordinary rolling slopes. Instead of being crushed into broken rock by the enormous pressure, dozens of colorful parallel layers amazingly preserved their sharp boundaries with remarkable precision. During the harsh summer, sudden chemical changes in iron-rich minerals create stunning shades, ranging from deep brick red and bright orange to pale bluish gray, formed in low oxygen conditions. Whenever rare rain showers sweep across the landscape, a thin layer of water soaks into the porous sandstone and changes the angle of light refraction, making the entire mountain range suddenly glow with rich and vibrant colors. These magical colors became deeply woven into local spiritual traditions, inspiring the legend of the five-colored ribbon left behind by the goddess Nuwa after repairing the sky, and they remain a source of pride during traditional festivals. In 2010, UNESCO officially recognized this Danxia landscape as a World Natural Heritage Site because of its priceless and exceptionally well-preserved geological value. Hidden within the fairy chimneys stand thousands of strange, natural rock pillars, creating a vast and lonely stone wilderness that has endured unchanged through countless generations. Millions of years ago, Thick layers of volcanic ash and molten lava erupted from massive volcanoes, covering the entire region before gradually compressing into solid rock. The pointed stone pillars have survived for thousands of years because a hard basalt cap acts like a giant helmet, shielding the softer, porous rock beneath from direct water erosion. Beyond its world-famous geological beauty, this destination offers unforgettable sunrise hot air balloon flights, creating breathtaking scenery that looks exactly like an animated fantasy brought into real life. Even today, the remarkable way that wind and water sculpted thousands of perfectly balanced rock pillars remains an unsolved natural mystery that continues to fascinate scientists worldwide. The erosion of these rock pillars is accelerating under increasingly severe storms, warning that this natural wonder may not last forever. So visit while its breathtaking beauty remains at its finest. Chocolate Hills rises with thousands of perfectly symmetrical cone-shaped limestone formations, creating a vast and mysterious valley landscape that still lacks a clear explanation. This entire strange structure formed from accumulated shells of billions of mollusks and corals, proving that the area once lay beneath a deep, ancient ocean. The concentration of more than 1,200 to nearly 1,800 evenly sized hills creates great density across about 19 square miles. Although they appear from afar as solid as enormous concrete blocks, the hills contain remarkably porous and soft interiors formed from heavily weathered limestone. Even today, scientists still cannot reach a fully unanimous conclusion about the exact natural process responsible for forming these unusual and closely grouped hills. The 1911 landslide formed Lake Kandy, home to a strange underwater tree cemetery. The violent earthquake quickly submerged the entire lush pine valley, turning the area into a deep water hole. Despite being submerged for over 100 years, the underwater branch and leaf system retains its original structure, as if frozen in time. The water environment, consistently held below 43 degrees Fahrenheit, acts like a giant mummification machine, completely blocking bacterial attacks. As a result, while the tree trunks rising into the air are dried out, the underwater branches remain covered in a thriving green algae carpet. Limestone minerals dissolved from the earth cause the water color to constantly shift, creating the illusion of a living plant world. Natural researchers remain utterly amazed by the ability of this underwater basin to completely resist biological erosion laws. Underground water, flowing through porous limestone layers, keeps the lake amazingly clear, revealing every detail of the ancient formation. The 7 Manpupuna quartz towers possess a completely unprecedented structure, as they rise abruptly out of a flat plain in total solitude. The first rock column shocks researchers with its extremely narrow base, creating a severely imbalanced physical formation. Over 200 million years of weathering washed away all surrounding soft rock, leaving only these tough quartz cores standing firm. What baffles scientists is how natural erosion spared 7 towers of remarkably similar height, from 98 feet to 138 feet. When winter temperatures plunge below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, thick layers of ice encase the pillars, transforming them into bizarre ice monsters. Pressure from freezing water inside the quartz crevices repeatedly creates loud, explosive noises, echoing across the desolate space. Arctic winds howling through the irregular rock grooves generate eerie whispering sounds, making this land even more mysterious. The strange existence of these isolated quartz structures continues to challenge modern erosion models, leading into the next natural wonder. Although Sondung Cave was discovered only recently, it became the world's largest cave, with a volume of 1,360 billion cubic feet, enough to contain nearly 15 Giza pyramids and a mysterious primeval forest inside. Two enormous sinkholes allow sunlight to pour inside, creating 2 untouched tropical rainforests within the cave where towering trees reach about 130 feet high. Dense trees and tangled vines grow throughout the limestone chamber, making the first expedition believe they had already left the cave while remaining deep underground. The cave shelters more than 7 newly discovered species, with completely white or transparent bodies and no eyes, evolving in eternal darkness through adaptations that remain unexplained. Despite nearly 20 years of exploration, scientists estimate they have examined only about 30% of the entire cave system, while the remaining sections stay hidden in darkness. Local residents found the cave entrance in 1990 and reported it to specialists, but after exploration, it was not officially open to visitors until 2013. Imagine standing on the summit of Mount Roraima, which is made entirely of 2-billion-year-old quartz sandstone, turning the entire landscape into one of the oldest geological formations on Earth. This perfectly flat tabletop plateau was created by enormous geological uplift, raising towering rock walls that slice through the clouds like an isolated island floating in the sky. One remarkable feature is that the mountain sits on the natural border of Venezuela, Guyana, and Brazil, with the only access route requiring travelers to cross countless fast-flowing rivers and climb slippery slopes for several days. The mountain summit forms a completely isolated world, where the unique black frog has lost its webbed feet through evolution and escapes danger by curling into a ball and rolling down rocky crevices. Hidden deep inside the mountain is a gigantic quartz cave maze stretching for more than 9.2 miles, creating a geological puzzle because rainwater cannot dissolve this extremely hard mineral. The harsh climate and powerful winds rising from the valley constantly tear apart waterfalls, plunging from heights of 3,000 feet, sending countless droplets soaring back into the sky like a ribbon floating in the air. Hidden on the dry lakebed of Racetrack Playa, the phenomenon of rocks moving by themselves and leaving long, winding tracks remains a challenging geological mystery. The landscape here is so flat that the elevation difference across this vast lakebed is merely 1.5 inches, creating a perfect natural racetrack. The strangest aspect is that massive boulders weighing up to 700 pounds can still slide hundreds of feet without any human force. Over the past century, scientists observed countless bizarre curving trails, but no one ever directly saw the rocks budge with the naked eye. This mystery gradually unravels as research reveals a rare combination of thin ice sheets forming at night and light winter winds. The clay surface, cracked into uniform hexagonal tiles, helps minimize friction, enabling the pushing force to slide the rocks along smoothly. The contrast between the stillness of the barren desert and the invisible movement of the rocks turns this land into a truly unique landform. Although the floating ice mechanism partially explains the phenomenon, the sudden change in direction of rocks sitting right next to each other continues to challenge researchers. Isolated for 18 million years, Socotra Island possesses an ecosystem so bizarre that 37% of its plant species exist nowhere else on Earth. Prominent across this land is the dragon blood tree, with a canopy spreading wide like a giant umbrella, rising above the arid stone desert. This unique design helps the tree efficiently trap ocean mist to drip down to its roots, while shading them beneath scorching heat exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit. When its bark is cut, the trunk bleeds a deep red resin, containing mysterious biological compounds that scientists still cannot fully analyze. In addition, the island features desert rose trees with swollen, water-rich trunks that cling directly to bare limestone cliffs. These giant, bottle-shaped trunks store hundreds of gallons of water to help them survive harsh summer months without a single drop of rain. The combination of strangely evolved plant species and uplifted limestone terrain has transformed Socotra into a completely different world. Thousands of perfectly round stone spheres sitting isolated in the Taurish desert transform this place into one of the strangest landscapes on Earth. The peeling structure in concentric layers like an onion sets these rock formations completely apart from standard geological features. The biggest mystery lies in the dense concentration of countless stones that no modern geological model can fully explain. While scientists attribute them to sedimentary concretions at the bottom of an ancient ocean, the massive scale of their presence here remains unsolved. Many giant boulders reach diameters of up to 13 feet and weigh dozens of tons, scattered across the vast terrain like forgotten artifacts. Over millions of years, desert winds eroded the surrounding soft soil to expose these tough spheres containing prehistoric fossils in their cores. Extreme temperature, swings between day and night, build immense pressure that cracks many boulders in half, like hatching dragon eggs. The wave is a sandstone formation created about 190 million years ago, celebrated for its flowing red, orange, yellow, and white curves that resemble an astonishing frozen ocean wave. Its two main troughs measure about 62 feet by 118 feet and 7 feet by 52 feet, forming an extraordinary wave-shaped landscape unlike anywhere else. Layer upon layer of sandstone displays vivid bands of red, orange, yellow, and white, with iron oxide minerals, producing the striking striped patterns across the remarkable surface. Smooth, undulating stone curves form interwoven U-shaped channels, making the landscape appear like gigantic ocean waves that have been permanently frozen in time by nature. The rock surface preserves delicate ridges and ancient sand ripples, making the entire landscape resemble a gigantic prehistoric skateboard park sculpted entirely by natural geological forces. Many visitors who have stood among these surreal stone waves describe the unforgettable feeling as stepping into an alien world or a breathtaking scene from a science fiction movie. Would you like to explore Deadly, a striking white clay basin where hundreds of dead acacia trees stretch their black branches across a vast sea of brilliant red sand? The dark thorn acacia trees here died about 900 years ago, remaining frozen in place as silent witnesses to history through countless passing centuries. Because of the extremely harsh climate and severe lack of moisture, no bacteria or fungi can survive here to decompose the dead plant remains. These extraordinary conditions have preserved the lifeless trees in their original shapes for hundreds of years without rotting, collapsing, or becoming distorted by the passage of time. The valley is surrounded by some of the tallest red sand dunes on Earth, rising to about 1,300 feet above the brilliant desert floor. This landscape creates an unforgettable visual contrast through three bold colors, featuring brilliant white cracked clay, deep black tree trunks, and glowing red sand dunes. This remarkable place belongs forever to these fossil-like wooden guardians, standing quietly through centuries, while time and nature leave them almost completely untouched. Guinness recognized Vulcan Point as the largest third-level island in a lake on the planet because of its surrounding crater system. And this place has a strange geographic structure that amazes scientists. The perfectly nested natural structure resembles a Russian Matryoshka doll, yet it measures only about 130 feet and sits inside a bubbling acid lake with an extremely dangerous pH level. What makes this land so mysterious is its ability to disappear completely and then return after violent geological changes deep beneath the ground. The clearest example occurred when the eruption in 2020 caused all the surrounding water to evaporate and made the island disappear, before heavy rain later refilled the crater and brought it back. Constant movement of magma gases below the surface also causes the water around the island to change repeatedly from misty emerald green to a bright lemon yellow. Despite the attractive scenery, authorities completely ban visitors from stepping onto the island because the rocks are extremely porous and fragile, while toxic gases can quickly cause suffocation. As the story of this strange island within an island comes to an end, the journey toward more mysterious geographic locations on Earth will continue with new surprises. Famous for its brilliant white chalk formations stretching across golden sand, the White Desert looks like the surface of another planet beneath temperatures that rise above 122 degrees Fahrenheit. After more than 60 million years of geological change, this ancient seabed collected countless tiny marine shells that were compressed into massive layers of white limestone sediment. The most remarkable feature is the giant, mushroom-shaped rock formations weighing many tons that remain perfectly balanced on narrow stone bases carved away by sandstorms close to the ground. Even more astonishing, many surrounding areas are covered with millions of naturally smooth, rounded quartz stones, formed from an ancient cave dome that was turned inside out and exposed to the open air. At midday, extreme temperature differences create powerful light refraction that often makes visitors see mirage lakes and floating rock formations. The unique porous rock structure also absorbs nearly all sound, creating silence that approaches 0 decibels, allowing people to clearly hear the beating of their own hearts. Welcome to the Badain Jaran Desert, a remarkable land with the tallest fixed sand dunes on Earth and more than 140 permanent lakes that exist against all odds in a blazing desert. Unlike ordinary deserts, where the wind constantly reshapes the landscape, the enormous sand dunes here rise as high as 1,509 feet and have remained almost completely unchanged for thousands of years. Even though the area receives less than 1.5 inches of rain each year, the lakes stay full because underground water flows beneath the desert from snow-covered mountains located more than 200 miles away. Even more astonishing, fresh springs with clean drinking water emerge beside salty lakes that turn bright pink because of ancient microorganisms. As visitors walk across the steep sand slopes, friction between millions of smooth sand grains produces booming sounds that exceed 105 decibels and resemble the roar of a jet engine. The perfect combination of underground moisture and natural dune slopes has transformed the entire desert into a gigantic natural sound amplifier that no computer model has fully explained. Although scientists from around the world continue searching for answers, this unique geological combination remains an unsolved mystery that opens the door to even more extraordinary discoveries on our journey. Pamukkale is not only famous for its brilliant white travertine terraces filled with warm mineral water, but it also hides a geological fault that releases deadly poisonous gas. Here, nearly pure carbon dioxide continuously escapes from deep underground cracks at concentrations reaching as high as 91%, suffocating any living creature that accidentally enters the area. This unusual geological phenomenon was once used by ancient people during mysterious religious ceremonies, where priests remained standing while sacrificial animals collapsed completely. On top of this dazzling white hill, a powerful earthquake during the 7th century destroyed ancient buildings and created a thermal pool flowing around fallen Roman marble columns. Mineral-rich water loaded with calcium continues to emerge at a temperature of 97 degrees Fahrenheit, not only filling the submerged ruins, but also constantly coating and fossilizing everything along its path. Even more astonishing, the surface of the calcium crystals reflects moonlight in a remarkable way, causing the entire white hillside to glow with a soft and mysterious light after nightfall. What do you think about this extraordinary combination of a snow-white landscape, healing hot springs, and a geological fault that releases mysterious poisonous gas? Share your thoughts with us.